Brothers Automotive on TK99 and TK105, the flagship station of Syracuse Orange football.
We are live at the world headquarters here in Armory Square and live from the loft at the home office. And Don McPherson joining us. Donnie, how are you? Good morning.
I'm doing well. How are you? Good morning.
Good. You know, it's kind of odd that within the last maybe 2 weeks you had told us that story about Pete Rose coming up to you after that West Virginia game at Churchill Downs, and then lo and behold, we lose the legend yesterday.
You know, and it's a shame to see so many people who are now singing his praises and saying he should have been in the Hall of Fame and all that. He was a very unique guy, and it was I thought the same thing when I saw the news. I'm like, wow, I was just talking about him and telling that story once again. But sad to see him go. And Dikembe Mutombo, another great rival, SU rival from Georgetown, also passed away in the last 24 hours. It's been a sad couple of days in the world of sports.
Yeah, Dikembe was just a good dude, you know, not just as a player. I enjoyed watching him play and his finger wag and all that, but all the stuff that he did and accomplished after his playing career to help out Africa. And I think the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think, is where he was from originally.
Yep, I believe you're right. But, yeah, he did so much great stuff post-career. He's just a really good guy.
Well, Donnie, on to the task in hand. First, final thoughts on the game. It was obviously a win Friday night, but it was a win. It was like having a meal at one of those restaurants that serves you like huge portions where you're glad you ate there, but you don't feel good afterwards.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but I just love the analogies of how dissatisfying it was.
Yes, it was good. Don't get me wrong; it's always good.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, it could have been better. I mean, but it was. What are you going to do? It's a 28-point win.
It's a 28-point win, but it's against Holy Cross. I was actually on Holy Cross's campus about 3 weeks ago, and I just totally forgot that they were going to play Syracuse, and it was that much of a detachment. It wasn't like I felt like I've been to other places where you go, okay, wow, this is a school that we're going to play. I felt like I was on a small-time college campus in Worcester, Massachusetts. They're not a formidable opponent, and it was a victory. It was a sound victory, but it should have been one of those 70 to 3 games. Not a game where the opponent scores a couple of touchdowns before halftime.
And then also a game in which Kyle McCord had a great game, but he was in the game long enough to have 50 pass attempts. So you would think in a game like that, like you were saying, that he should have been, out by the half with a 35-point lead.
Yeah, he's putting up great numbers, and it's also exposing maybe if the offensive line isn't as stout as we hoped it to be. I mean, that's a lot of balls to throw in a half of a football game. I think they're showing that they're going to rely heavily on the pass game and his ability to get them in the right play in the pass game, because clearly they're not moving people in the run game. And they should have just dominated up front against Holy Cross.
Well, on to the game coming up this Friday night. UNLV last weekend putting up 59 points with the other quarterback after the first guy left the team. So it looks like they didn't skip a beat, and I believe they're still a favorite out in Las Vegas. UNLV is in the game against the Orange at Allegiant Stadium. And this matchup, Donnie, what do you see now when you look at both teams here?
Going into Stanford, coming off the bye week, I said it was an attitude game because there was no common connection to Stanford. There was no, there's no history, there's no rivalry, there's nothing to get up for. So it was all about attitude. This game is going to be all about discipline. It's their first road game. It's a short week because they're playing Friday night. They're playing a top 25 team that's pretty hot. Vegas has wins against Houston and Kansas too. Would be considered quality wins. Vegas UNLV is top 25 right now. I think I just mentioned that. But the other thing is, it's Vegas, right? I mean, Vegas is like Madonna, right? It's just a town that has a persona all its own. So you got a short week, you're going out west, and you're going to a town that's full of distractions. Now, they're not going to be exposed to the strip and all that, but it's just the fact that you're going out with this new opponent to a team that's pretty hot. To your point, Slocum, the former quarterback, had them at 3-0, and then comes Malik Williams, and he leads them. He's like completed 80% of his passes, leads them to a victory. And to your point, they didn't miss a beat. They're 4-0. They're feeling pretty good. They're top team in the Mountain West. It's going to be a tough road game.
You're not going. Are you going to that one, Don? 'Cause I know a lot of guys who are actually going out there.
Vegas is one of those cities I just stay away from like the plague. There's nothing for me in Vegas, so I stay here in Syracuse, nice and safe.
Yeah, just watch it. It's a 9 p.m. Kickoff, so you can kind of hang and enjoy it from the comfort of your own couch.
Exactly right.
All right, Lisa, any final questions?
I wanted to ask Don about, I wanted to follow up about Question Impossible with Don, which was basically men gain weight during football season, but women don't. And I just thought it was a really funny stat, and that was our Question Impossible. And I was just wondering if Don had anything to add about that, about thinking about watching football.
You know me well enough to know that there's a gendered question like that I am not going to bite.
Have you gained weight during football season since you stopped playing, Don?
Let me
I'm just wondering.
I think the answer is obvious. It's actually a pretty interesting sort of analysis of women's sports versus men's sports. Women don't do sports the way men do sports. Women don't, like, for example, the WNBA. Women don't get together and just sit around watching a game, right? They'll go to a game, but they don't do the things that men do, where we literally sit on our rear ends and watch football, right?
Yes.
And so, yes, that does make sense that men gain weight because the lifestyle becomes much more sedentary. They're not going out and playing with their kids on Sunday. They're sitting around drinking beer and then it's the games on Sunday. So NFL games. So you don't have the next day like for college football. It's Saturday afternoon. You got all day Sunday to go take a walk, hit the park, play a little ball, with your kids or whatever it is. Whereas Sunday, you're sitting around like a sloth, eating wingdings and beer, and then you go to work the next day, right? So you don't have a day to kind of burn it off. So the statistics may hold up true, even if they're along very grotesque gender lines.
Yes, very good. Excellent answer, Donnie. Excellent answer.
All right, Don. Well, hey, thanks for reaching out and getting caught up.
It was a pleasure.
Okay, buddy. Talk to you soon.